You're being awfully nosy. How are you? Hi, honey. It's okay.
Let her figure out who's in here.
It's okay.
Nice you being in here.
It's okay.
Right, Mama. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I feel like chin scratches too.
You still like the chin scratches? Oh my goodness.
I don't know. She was breathing way harder when she was on her video.
Yeah.
That's all. She was breathing way harder when she was on the ground. And then
well, it's the start of a really busy weekend. And we are waiting for our cow, our family cow, who's behind there. In her, she normally doesn't use it a whole lot. It's a shelter. It's a 3-sided barn. She uses it when it gets really nasty weather. So in the past, we've had more Highlands than any other type of cow. And Highlands, like, they don't care about weather. Mosquito. They don't care about weather at all. So when we got a shorthorn, which is the type of cow that Pepperoni is, aka Roni, we built her a 3-sided barn. Sorry guys. Out of recycled material. I've got someone keeping an eye on me. Look at this thing. Just peeking around the corner as I make everyone seasick. So, Roni was bred by a bull. And she was bred by a Red Angus bull who was here on our property. And we don't know exactly what date she was successfully bred. Because a lot of times they do the thing. A lot of times they breed at night. That's what they do. So we are not catching it all the time. But we definitely know that she is bred, because otherwise our bull would have alerted us, so to speak, on her going into heat, and she never did. Even though, I'm sorry, did I say bull? I meant steer. Even though he's castrated, he's a steer, he still has a nose. He still knows when, like literally a nose. He would know when she goes into heat, and she hasn't. And the other really good sign is also that she's had some discharge, and she is what they call bagged up. That means her udder is preparing to feed a baby. So the first day that she could have calved was a couple days ago. And she's starting to show more signs, like I said. So I come out here first thing every morning. My husband checks too before he goes to work, but it's dark out. And then I check on her, and we try to keep an eye out. So one of the things that I'm really excited about this year to see if she does the celebration moos like our Highlands did when they calved here on the farm. And it's been really, really, really comfortable out at night, so we've been sleeping with our window open. So more on that, but we are on cow watch. So I'm gonna go find another place for an update. I'm not using a tripod right now. My arm is falling asleep. Okay. Hold, please. Might have to do, I'm gonna do chores first, too. Gorgeous out this morning. Goodness. All right. I have loud goats. Chores first. YouTube second. Doop. Doop. Turn off. Already gave you an update on our cow. So again, for those that are new to the channel, we raise several different types of animals here on the farm. We raise cattle, very small herd. We're not honestly sure if we're going to continue raising cattle or not, just because of the cost right now, but we him and how that. So we raise cattle. Right now we have one shorthorn and one Highland. Our shorthorn, her name is Pepperoni. She is pregnant and due any day. We also raise dairy goats. We have registered dwarf Nigerian dairy goats. We have several does and 2 bucks. We also raise a breeding pair of Megalitza hogs. And I'm sure if you guys look, like there is a short somewhere of our hog drinking cream or milk or something like that. It's hilarious. You have to find it. I can't remember exactly where it is, but you have to find it. We also raise chickens, both egg layers, and then seasonally we raise enough meat birds, which are Cornish cross, to feed our family for the entire year. Let's see here. What else do we raise? Right now we have cats and dogs. We attempted to, this is our second year raising turkeys. This year is not as successful as last year was. We went out of town and something decided it was going to take advantage of us not being here as often, go into the barn where we had our turkeys and a brooder and eating them. So we have one turkey left that we have secured elsewhere. Actually, our house sitter did, secured elsewhere with another chicken so it doesn't get lonely. And if all goes well, we will have one turkey this year. You can't always, you know, 1 is none, is 2 is 1 on the farm here. So we have that as well. And then we also raise a very, very large garden. It's probably 3/4 of an acre. And it is, 2/3 of it is in pretty rough shape right now. Just because of being on vacation and a lot of other awesome, but things that are, there's only 24 hours in a day, right? So that is the update on what we raise. Few things that I wanted to go through with you guys today that I have been filling in with between the cracks in the garden here, and I was able to plant some fall crops. And in Minnesota, or the Midwest, we are in a cooler zone, gardening zone. You can do a fall second crop garden. You just have to do certain varieties and certain types of crops that have a quick growing period, and usually have a quick growing period and will tolerate some cool weather and frost. So what I have done this is my second year doing it. Last year wasn't as successful, but I got a little taste of having less all at once. Usually August is the time where we're harvesting like crazy. Like everything comes in August. This year we got things in a little bit later because of the weather. No control over that. But usually August, everything is being harvested. And now we can't eat everything out of a 3/4 acre garden in 1 month. We can eat a lot of it, but not all of it. Plus, we want to be able to build up our pantry, have that good food where we know that it came from. all year round. We are still, for example, we are still eating off of, oh goodness, spaghetti squash from last year. We are still eating tomato products that I canned last year, salsa, sauce, regular crushed tomatoes. We are still eating our own green beans. We are still eating our own pickles. We are still eating, there's so many, so jams and jellies and peppers and soup. My kids just requested chicken noodle soup the other day. They love homemade, it was actually turkey, chicken/turkey noodle soup. So we're still eating off of all of that. Now, some years are better than others. Last year was awesome. I filled up my pantry so much. So we're really excited to build off of that and continue building off of our pantry and learning new things to can too. So hopefully we can teach each other a little bit. Okay, so going back to the fall crop. The fall crops that I chose to put in later, so July is usually the best time to do that. Wanted to get it in mid-July. That didn't happen, so it's like mid to late July. So it's what? It is the 19th today. So it's close to mid-July. We'll just go with it. And the other nice thing, like I said before, is we're splitting up this harvest season a little bit. It takes less of a pressure off of August and pushes it out a little bit. So the first thing that I planted in one row, I interplant these, and I interplant these by using a method that I've done now for a couple of years now, and it's worked really good. So if anyone is familiar with the size of a carrot seed, it is very tiny, and it is very much a pain in the butt to weed and to thin. So what I do is I go to a big pile of sand that I have here on the property that was an old sandbox that doesn't get as much use anymore. And I dig a bucket of sand. I grab a few packets of carrot seeds and one packet of radish seeds, and I mix it together. I add a little bit of compost into it, and I dig a trench in the garden, and I literally, once it's all mixed up, I pour the seed sand mixture right in there. And then I water it really, really well. It has always worked, knock on wood. Things can still fail. Seeds can fail, humans can fail, all of that can fail. So I got that done, and the seeds that I use today. Now, I have gotten a little bit more particular over the seeds that I have chosen to buy, but not always. You don't need to order from a fancy seed catalog. You can definitely, and I have my favorites for sure, especially with a garden that is as large as mine. The quality and commitment that these companies have is amazing. But I have had just as much success in the past with going to the Dollar Tree and picking up your 2 for $1 pack, 2 for $1 seed packets. That is the carrot that I used. I used 3 packets. I like the Danvers half long. They are a little bit shorter, and because our garden area, it has a lot of dense soil that we're working on. They're a shorter carrot. They're like about this big. They usually take about 2 weeks to germinate, 70 days to harvest. So what is that? That's the end of September. Even if I would have planted them a little bit later, it would have been fine. The great thing about carrots is that if you get a frost, and if we leave them in long enough, we get a frost, it'll actually sweeten. It does something on a molecular level to the sugars, and it sweetens the carrot. So really cool on that. Now, the radish that I interplanted the carrots with is a new one. I just thought I'd try it out this year. It's said to be unbelievably rapid yields. French heirloom radish will yield roots in 18 days under ideal conditions. That's crazy. You can have food in 18 days. So this is the radish. Oh, Come on, focus. There you go. This is the radish that I have used. Now this one is from Baker Creek, as you can see. I've used other radishes in the past. I decided to go and pick this one. We honestly, we don't eat a lot of radishes. We know people that we give the radishes to will have a few here and there on a salad. What we usually end up doing is these radishes, we keep them interplanted with the carrots. It naturally helps thin the carrots out a little bit, provides soil aeration, all that good stuff. Gives the carrots more room to grow because these grow so fast, and then the carrots have room to catch up and take in that space once you harvest them. But our animals really, really like radishes. Actually, the hogs do. They like the greens, they like the bulb, they like the whole thing. So that's what we're doing there. I have one row of that. And also this year, we are going to be playing around with a better way to store fresh carrots in a used refrigerator that we were gifted. Thank you very much. That it is in our basement, and we are going to try to see how long we can keep fresh carrots in a refrigerator in our basement for the winter months. All right, the next thing that I planted for my fall crop is not a huge family favorite. It's one of my favorites, and I enjoy pickling them. I enjoy eating them roasted on the grill, but that is the beet. Now, this beet is a Detroit dark red beet. It's from Baker Creek, and it sprouts in a couple weeks, and it is frost hardy. So this is the beet. Come on, camera, focus. There you go. It's not there. This is the beet that I planted, and I also planted a full row of this. I planted these similarly to the method that I used to do the carrots. However, with this, I just dug a trench down through our mulch, brought in compost, and then put the seeds in. In the past, I've like spaced them out all nice. This year, I just sprinkled them over the top of the row all the way down. Hopefully it works. And then very loosely put some of the mulch back over across of the row. Not packed, because I still want the sun and that to get to the seed itself eventually. So that's what I did there. The next fall crop that I did, and I have some that I need to see how well they are doing since my chickens started escaping into the garden and scratching them up, is some of my lettuce. So a lot of my lettuce went to seed when we were on vacation, but I think I have some that I can probably salvage. So, but I did another crop of lettuces. Now, the bed that I put the lettuces in is the same bed that we just recently, which is another update, pulled our garlic, and we got a beautiful garlic yield. It's the first year ever doing garlic. With garlic, you plant in the fall and you harvest the next July. So we literally can take a few bulbs of garlic, keep them, and then plant them in a few months and get more next year. It's just a revolving door of garlic, as long as everything goes well. So the lettuces that I planted are one of my favorites. Is the Gustav's salad. It can be used as like a leaf lettuce if you plant it close together, or if it's further apart, it forms a beautiful like butter head type of lettuce. And that's also from Baker Creek. And then another one that I decided to plant, it's a very French word, and My apologies for my French friends, because I'm not even going to try to pronounce this word. I want to, but I'm too shy. So I have 2 different lettuces that I have right here, both from Baker Creek. Again, this is more like a butter crunch type of texture. And this is more of a, it's heirloom. It's very crisp. It doesn't have that soft texture in your teeth like a butter lettuce does. And I love that it has more color. Anything that you can do to give variety of color that you're eating is always good. More antioxidants. So that's what I did there. So again, we have our lettuces, our beets, our radishes, and our carrots all planted in the garden for a fall crop. Now, I planted it in the area that also looks the best, that's the most weeded, that has the fresh layer of mulch, because as you guys might know, we currently are doing a no-till deep mulch method, and half of our garden has enough mulch and half of it doesn't. So there's still a lot of weeding that we're doing. I need to get, probably should be out there right now weeding the garden. So that is the update on the garden. I busted the chickens getting in there this morning again. They continue to really want to go after my cabbage and my broccoli. I don't know if I'm going to get a cabbage harvest this year. I might have to go out to a farmer's market and buy several heads of cabbage if my poor cabbage does not make a recovery. We'll see. Let's see here. Something also that I'm going to look into for next year is to finding a way to help with potato bugs. I have to look into it. There's 2 types of bugs that generally go after our potato, is the regular potato bug, and then I believe it's called like the Colorado something beetle bug. It's got like stripes on it with a red or orangish head. They're not quite as aggressive as the potato bugs I've found, but our potatoes are, we're going to have a very small harvest of potatoes. So we'll see. The good thing about the chickens getting in the garden is I do believe they've eaten most of the cabbage moths. So knock on wood, I haven't seen almost any of those little devil butterflies, moths all over the place with their little caterpillars eating up things. So that's good. The other update that I have, my son just woke up. The other update that I have is that we got a package from FedEx or UPS, one of the 2. I think it was UPS. And I decided to get more serious about the minerals that we feed our animals, particularly our goats. This year I have, we went to the homesteading conference and we got a lot of bits and pieces and information about different minerals and whatnot. And to me, it's like a science experiment. I don't want to say my animals are experiment, but it's like science to me. It's like I can play chemist with all these awesome things that they should have anyway. So that sounds really strange. It sounds like I'm like using them for experiments. I am not. I am not. But I'm just really interested in how their bodies are designed and how the minerals support their bodies. So one of the things, again, that UPS delivered today, I was really, not today, a few days ago, really excited. I went to Redmond Agriculture, and if anyone has ever heard of Redmond Real Salt, it's the same company but focused on agriculture. I am not an affiliate with them. Their salt is really, really awesome. Maybe someday I will be. Right now I have a whopping 107 followers and just a tiny bit on Facebook and Instagram, but maybe someday. So, but I went to Redmond Agriculture and I decided to purchase a few things. The first thing I purchased was this goat mineral rock. And I got 2 of them. One for out in my buck area and one in my doe area. And it comes with a rope and you just hang it out there, and it's not I wouldn't only give them that mineral source, but they have fun with it. Goats are very playful. They have fun with it, and it's good for them. It's got salt, obviously, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, sulfur, copper, and zinc. The zinc is, the copper is somewhat low. So this is specifically goat mineral. If you have sheep, I would investigate on this, because copper is toxic to sheep. So that's why you don't want to intertwine the two. So, but do your own homework on that one. The other thing that I decided to purchase, and we actually have had it for our cows for a while now, is salt. This is Redmond salt again. And it's the fine premium mineral salt with added garlic. And it's got garlic in it. It's very garlicky. Now, garlic has shown to offer not just humans an amazing health benefit, but also shows a lot of, has been shown to show a lot of, I can't talk today. Garlic is very helpful for animals as well. Garlic has antiviral, antiparasitic, antimicrobial properties, and it helps deter flies. So, example, my garlic, I noticed it the next day. My garlic is on one of those wire racks that I use for starting my seeds and canning and all that good stuff. I move that out to under the lean-to because you want to have it dry outside, but you need the airflow. So we move that out there, and the lean-to is by my goats. It's not in the goat pen so they can get to it, but it's off to the side. The next day I went out there, and there's a drastic difference to how much flies are out there, just because of the smell of that garlic underneath the lean-to. It's awesome. So here is the bag that I actually purchased a 6-pack because it was a little bit cheaper, and I know we'll use it and it's not going to go bad. So I am going to actually get out to the barn, and I need to put out another mineral station and put this in it off to the side, because animals will know when they need what. So I want to offer this and the other mineral mix that we use, which is Sweet Licks Meat Maker right now. I'm very happy with it. It was highly recommended to me, the Sweet Licks Meat Maker mineral mix for goats. And but I might be looking into having a much larger variety of free choice minerals. More updates on that later. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take on that investment and right now. So more on that, but really excited to be adding this. We are not only going to offer this to our goats, but also to our cows as well. And the other thing that I want to understand a little bit more is how to do minerals for our hogs that we have. Now, again, we have Magalitza hogs. They're a heritage breed. They're slow growing, but they also, every living thing has a mineral need of some sort. Animals, humans, everything. And chickens as well. So I think we're most lacking on our hog and chicken minerals. So I want to explore more on that, making sure that we are taking care of our animals as much as we can and offering everything that they need as much as we can and afford. So that is all on that. I am so glad that you joined me today. Again, my name is Janine with Wild Country Acres. Thank you for joining me here on the farm and on the homestead. Have a blessed day.